This is a cemetery of unmarked graves in Staryi Krym village near the Russian-occupied Mariupol. Thousands of civilians who were killed as a result of massive attacks by Russian invaders are buried here. As of June, the UN was able to confirm the death of 1,348 civilians, including 70 children among them.
The mass grave at the cemetery in Staryi Krym continues to grow. At first, the Russian invaders buried their people, who were mercilessly killed by massive shelling, and now the number of graves is increasing due to the deaths of elderly people who could not leave the city. The worst thing is that the graves do not have names on them, but only numbers. And it is completely unknown how many bodies were buried in one grave. It is also unknown how the relatives of the deceased find bodies. Murderers destroy the traces of their crimes and never record them. Dmytro Lubinets, Commissioner of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine for Human Rights, on Telegram.
Two more mass graves are steadily growing larger near Mariupol, in Mangush and Vinogradne. The Center for Information Resilience analyzed images of Staryi Krym for the BBC and concluded that 1,500 new graves have been dug there since images were last analyzed at the site back in June.
If
we take into account the latest pictures, given the period for which they were taken, then the reason for the increase in the number of graves on the cemetery in Staryi Krym are understandable. Well, first of all, this is the exhumation from all large burial grounds, large ruins. Generally, the bodies of the dead were taken out and reburied.
The Center for Information Resilience reports that more than 4,600 graves have appeared near Mariupol since the beginning of the war. At the same time, experts cannot say exactly how many bodies are buried there and also name the number of victims. According to estimates by the Ukrainian authorities, at least 25,000 people became victims of the battles for Mariupol, of which from 5,000 to 7,000 died under the ruins of their own houses that collapsed as a result of shelling. Before the war, there were about 500,000 people in Mariupol.
We have enough evidence. There are high-quality satellite images that allow us to track crimes and dynamics with the advance of the Russian occupation army. According to the city authorities of Mariupol, this is from 25,000 to 40,000 killed residents of Mariupol during the war. These are the consequences of air bombing, rocket, aircraft, tank and artillery attacks. Serhiy Orlov, deputy mayor of Mariupol, on the air of the National Marathon.
In addition, in Mariupol, the death rate among the residents who remained in the occupied city is growing. Today, the situation in Mariupol is critical: bad water and food, lack of high-quality medical services.
The natural mortality rate in Mariupol as of summer 2022 was 5 times higher than in the pre-war period, and if we compare it with the pre-war period, the non-standard situation of the COVID wave, when the peak of mortality because of the coronavirus was the highest. Now we are seeing the same, further increase in mortality, and this is the result of the Russian occupation.
Earlier, the UN noted that as a result of massive shelling of the Ukrainian city of Mariupol, up to 90% of multi-story residential buildings were damaged or destroyed. Reported by Dana Kolesnik, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.